Boxing King Media in association with Boxro, Mr. Jeff Powell of the Daily Mail. Shocking scenes today. I've not experienced this in my young boxing career. I bet you have.
Yes, fights are often called off at the last moment for various reasons and have been down the years. And this was a problematic one. What made it important that the right decision was made. And I was glad to hear Eddie say that he and his co-promoter, Kalle made the decision. It wasn't made in the High Court. And they made it for the good of boxing in the final analysis. I understood why they tried to keep it going, tried to ascertain the gravity of the positive test by Conor BENN, and I'm glad that the decision was made to call it off.
I was going to get your thoughts on the initial story was broken by the Daily Mail, who you work for. If it never was broken by the Daily Mail, would it have come out in public light?
Yes, I believe it would. Yes, it appeared first in the Mail, and we're always happy with an exclusive. But it was an exclusive in terms of time because I was aware that at least 2 or 3 other papers had been tipped off about this and hadn't quite managed to get it to confirmation before we did. So yes, it was going to come out.
Crazy that. And then obviously Eddie said today the fight's postponed. He's not cancelled it or called it off, so it suggests they're working on a different date.
Yes, of course they are, but that I hope certain precautions are put in place here. There should be a proper time lapse, a matter of weeks rather than a couple of weeks, during which time hopefully we get the B sample result from VADA and through UCAD. But if not even so, there's a shadow of suspicion there which damages boxing, and it would be important that while Conor says he's clean, and I really hope that's right, but that he should be absolutely proven to be clean. So between now and whatever date they fall upon, Conor needs to submit to regular drugs testing at least 2 or 3 times a week between now and the fight. Because if there was something in his system, maybe it was there accidentally, I don't know, it needs to have cleared completely. Any benefit he might have gained from that should have been minimalised, if not receded altogether. Any exercise, strength, power, endurance and recovery should be behind him, and he should be back to fighting as his normal self. That done, then unless he is suspended by somebody or another, which Eddie doesn't believe is legally possible, then it's okay for the fight to go ahead.
But one of the things I want to draw on is Eddie mentioned something about the levels of what was inside his system, and obviously you've seen that before in the past with other fighters where it's been borderline and they managed to talk the way out of it. But what's your understanding of all that?
If something's in there, it's in there. The reason for the B sample is just to confirm and make sure that there was no error in the test of the A sample, which is fine. But if there was something in there, then it's a banned substance. Apparently, with this particular drug, it not only, which ironically was a fertility drug for women, when given to men, it doesn't only improve strength, size, bulk, muscle power, rapid recovery for training to be able to train more, and stamina, but apparently it's a masking agent for steroids as well. And my inquiries today led me to believe that the drug in itself has an element in which it can mask to a large extent its own presence, and that you might only get a trace element as a result, but that trace element could be a very tiny trace element, or it could be a hidden proper dose.
Fascinating. If obviously Conor BENN is found guilty, am I right in saying is it 4 years he'd be looking at as a ban?
I think, who knows? There tend to be appeals, and there tend to be lessening of sentence, compassion and what have you. Bans and suspensions don't always follow the explicit clauses of the law, and they're open to interpretation. But it would certainly be a lengthy ban.
From your experience, just last question, Jeff, if he is found guilty, what should happen?
Oh, he should be suspended. He should have to reapply for licences. The Board of Control would immediately have to revoke his Boxing Board of Control licence, which he wouldn't be able to fight in Britain. He might go and look for fighting abroad under jurisdictions which are not as strict and which don't conform to the generally accepted standards and international regulations. I would suggest that wouldn't be a good move, but he has got to earn a living, so who knows what course he would take. It would be very difficult for him.
And behind the scenes, is there like a big legal battle going on between Matchroom and the boxing board now?
I think it's a problem for Matchroom. The blame, let's be clear about it, if he did take a substance, the blame lays with Conor BENN. The board, I fancy, will be, as perhaps Matchroom realised about the High Court, it would be very difficult to bring a prosecution with drugs overshadowing the case.
Mr. Powell, as always, appreciate your time. Thank you, and I'll hopefully see you at the next one.
Oh, hope so, yes. Well, we'll be at Fury Chisora very soon.
Oh, don't say that. I'll see you soon.
Oh, it will be Fury Chisora. Yeah.
Interesting exclusive. Thank you.